My name is Ben Governor. I'm glad I've come your way once again with another motivational message to inspire you. Today I'll be sharing the story of Colonel Sanders, a very popular or famous man that we all know. This man is the founder of the popular KFC restaurant that we all know. He has a very inspiring story that I believe will motivate you and inspire you, and also teach you some moral lessons that will make you outstanding. I cannot wait to share the story with you. When this man who founded KFC was 5 years old, his father died. He lost his father at a very tender age. When he was 16 years old, he dropped out of school. At age 17, he was fired from 4 different jobs that he worked in. When he was 18 years old, he got married. He became a railway conductor during that same year. When he was 19 years, he became a father to a little child. The child was a girl. And when he was 20 years old, his wife left him and carried their only daughter away with her. When this man was 22 years old, he joined the army and also applied to law schools, but he was rejected in the law school and the work that he applied to join. He finally became an insurance salesman. As a young man, you have no time to waste. This man never stopped even though he failed rejection, but he kept on dreaming big, doing other things that will keep him going. He failed as a salesman too, and then he moved on to become a cook and a dishwasher at a small cafe. When he was 65 years, he retired. Surprisingly, he was given a $105 check by the government or from the government as his retirement benefit. Considering his budget for the month, he didn't know what this $105 will do for him. And so this man considered himself as an absolute failure and decided to commit suicide. To commit suicide means he wanted to kill himself. He sat under a tree to write his will and a suicide letter. But whilst he was preparing to write, suddenly a thought just crossed his mind, and he decided that instead of just writing the will and then the suicide letter, he would rather try to look out for the things that he could have accomplished with his life that he never accomplished. Surprisingly to this man, he realized that there was something he was good at doing that he had never tried doing. And that was very minute, even though he was good at it. I shouldn't use the word good. This man was the best when it comes to frying chicken, because he had a combination, certain spices that he could combine to get the best chicken after you fry it. But he considered it to be very minute, and at that point that he was writing, he realized that was one of the gifts that he hadn't made use of on earth. So he decided to take a step to explore that one, since he had tried several things that he wasn't even good at and never succeeded. So he realized he could cook the best chicken anyone had ever tasted. So he decided to borrow $87 to buy a fryer and his recipe's ingredients. He prepared his unique fried chicken recipe, trying to sell it door to door to his neighbors in Kentucky, which happens to be the abbreviated word K, Kentucky. So that was where he was living. So he decided to sell it door to door and also to license it to restaurants. He faced another set of rejection this time around. He tried and moved to 1,009 restaurants. Not once, not twice. This is a determined man. He tried and moved to 1,009 restaurants, but they all rejected it. They said that they didn't need his service. They didn't want to sell his chicken that he had made. So he decided that he will try the next restaurant, which would make it the 1,010th restaurant. And when he tried the 1,010th restaurant, this time round he had his first yes. They agreed to sell his chicken, and that was the first time KFC was born. So KFC was born when he had his yes from the 1,010th restaurants. He kept on making it, and because of his unique ingredient that he combined to come out with this chicken recipe, it was a sought after recipe in the whole of Kentucky, and news of such even spread abroad. Knowing how it was spreading, he also strategically made sure that the taste never changed as it moved from one place to the other. And surprisingly, at age 88, when he was 88 years old, he became a multi-billionaire, and KFC became the second biggest food empire. You can imagine that. A man who wanted to kill himself, now his food empire became the second largest. Now that I speak to you, as I speak to you right now, as at 2022, according to Wikipedia, KFC had over 25,000 locations in 147 countries in the world. This is a man who had found what he loved to do. This man tried everything possible and it never worked. What are the lessons that we can learn from this man's story? Even though this man succeeded, it is good. There is a saying that it is better to die on your feet than to live on your knees. This man tried everything possible and decided that he would just take his life from himself because he realized he had failed in everything that he tried to do. Now, one thing he never realized was that every human being has a unique capability, and certain giftings have been given to you that when you explore them, even though you are doing what you love to do, you never give up. This man never gave up because what he had found doing was what he loved to do. And so even though he tried 1,009 restaurants and they said no, because he was very he believed in what he did and knew how outstanding it was, he never gave up, hoping that one day someone would taste it and then give him a yes. A fish does not struggle to swim, neither does a bird struggle to fly. They have found themselves in their natural abode, and so you may see them to be trying because you as a human, you are not born to be in water. So when you find yourself in water or in any pool, you struggle. And so when you find a fish moving comfortably, if you don't take care, you will say the fish has done well, but it has found itself in its natural abode. So when you find yourself in the realm that you are supposed to be, it is easier to move even when nobody accepts you, because you are doing it naturally. You do not even care, and it never discourages you. Your gold is tied to your gifts. Your profit is tied to your potential, and your treasure is tied to your talents. Finding yourself doing the right thing that you love to do is the best. When you find yourself on the wrong track, If you're an athlete and you find yourself on the wrong track, I tell you, speed is not an advantage. No matter how you speed, you will be disqualified. As a young man growing up, find yourself on the right track so that your speed will be counted. This is the word I have for you to encourage you this time round. As usual, my name is Sir Ben, popularly known as Ben Governor.